At All-Type Engineering on the southern fringe of Perth, the welders are working, but they're few and far between.
I've been here when the workers were almost falling over each other to do the work, and now it's half empty.
James England is State Manager of the Australian Steel Institute, and he's watched the industry go from boom to bust in WA. A few years ago, factories like this couldn't get enough workers. Now they can't get enough work. How many metal shops over here would be in the same position?
Probably about 500 that are looking for work and desperately trying to find the next job.
That's if they're still in business.
This is one of the biggest fabrication shops in the metro area. It's empty now, for lease, for sale. 14,000 square metres.
Big plant.
Yeah, there's another one for lease next door. So that's a sign of the times.
In the city, it's the same story. During the boom, you couldn't rent office space in Perth. People were literally working out of cafes because the place was full. Now there's sign after sign saying for lease. As the offices close, the cafes and restaurants feel the pain.
Struggling. All our neighbours have vanished. It was 30 food shops. Now they're closing by the week.
Western Australia is going backwards very significantly and has conditions that you would describe at a state level as being consistent with a deep recession.
Andrew Charlton was economics advisor to former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. He's analysed the different states and, in an ideal world, what interest rates should apply.
Rough proxy for economic growth, New South Wales growing strongly at 4%, Victoria growing strongly at 3%, South Australia
barely growing,
0.5%, Queensland in a recession at -1.8%, and Western Australia in a deep recession at -4.2%.
At its new record low of 1.5%, the RBA's cash rate is too low for the booming southeastern states.
In New South Wales, the interest rate, if you think about New South Wales as a economic unit on its own, and you imagine it had its own currency and its own interest rate, you'd be expecting an interest rate consistent with the inflation and economic growth conditions in New South Wales of above 4%.
But for WA, the lowest cash rate ever is still far too high.
The conditions in Western Australia are consistent with an interest rate that is around zero or even below zero.
In Perth's north, in the down-at-heel suburbs of Balga and Girraween, the adult unemployment rate has topped 25%.
Hello, Stephen.
John.
Yeah, there.
Here I met resident John Sassay.
Come in, mate.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, me too. Oh, mate, where are we up to?
We're heading towards Perth. John was a bricklayer during the boom, but a back injury put paid to that. After 2 years unemployed, he's found work as an Uber driver.
I've been driving for Uber for the past 7 months. Just giving me the opportunity to get back on my 2 legs. Just awesome. I love that.
You must have had a substantial cut in income, though.
Yes. Because what I used to make before doing my big paving job, I could just say it's like 3-4 times on what I would be getting with Uber.
It's another sign of the times that 1 in 5 Uber drivers in WA used to have jobs in the mining and resources industry. At Rockingham, south of Perth, welder Tony Stevens has some mates over for coffee.
Well, we've had what, 13 years of boom time, yeah, and there's just all the workshops are closed down.
Not long ago, all these men were on top dollar.
I was mainly working offshore on pipeline construction and an oil rig construction, earning around about $150,000 to $250,000 a year.
Now they've got big debts and no work.
And it's not just me, it's a lot of us in this industry.
Where's it left you?
Destitute. Just all our savings have gone, and if it carries on, looks like we might even lose the house.
Perth has the sense of a city that lived life large, as if the good times would never end. Now the hangover endures, even as the bubbles burst. During the boom times, you could pay $5 or $6 for a cup of coffee in Perth. Now you get one for $3.50, and that's a potent symbol of deflation. Very potent. Across the nation, there are fears that the new record low cash rate, fuelled by soft consumer prices, could drive real estate prices up again, pumping up a dangerous housing bubble.
So, congratulations, guys.
Where the interest rate is too low for prevailing conditions, the impact of that is to inflate asset prices, including the housing market.
Investment money that's funneled towards houses and the resources industry is certainly not helping the rest of the economy be productive. The local economy, unfortunately, is based on houses and holes, and that's not sustainable for Western Australia or the rest of the nation.
The West has had its reckoning. How long before the southeastern states have their boom and bust?